Since Rishi Sunak made his premature exit from the D-Day 80th anniversary celebrations, the UK erupted in a storm of scorn and criticism against him and his leadership. Poor him. Despite his apology, the backlash has been relentless. But just a second. Are people really being fair to Rishi Sunak? After all, he did apologize. When did we get to the point where apologies aren't enough? Okay, to understand Rishi's critics better, let's see what they're saying. One Twitter commentator helpfully summarized the veteran's thoughts on Rishi's conduct. He said, he let the country down. If we weren't in the middle of a general election campaign, he'd surely be expected to resign. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment. Anyway, let's continue. All parties suspended campaigning for D Day, but Sunak tried to gain an advantage. Utter disgrace. Ouch. Tom from LBC didn't hold back either. He said, come on, Prime Minister, own up to it and own it. Don't politicize it, he says. Pathetic. What he's saying is, please don't criticize me. Anyway, before we continue, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button like it's the snooze button on a Monday morning. And while you're at it, go ahead, like and share. Spread the love. If you've been lurking around my channel without subscribing, it's time to stop being a commitment phobe. Subscribe now. It's painless, I promise. We are aiming for 5,000 subscribers and we are close. I can almost taste it. And trust me, it tastes like victory and a hint of chocolate. To all my dedicated subscribers, a colossal thank you for your unwavering support. You are the real MVPs. And if I could, I would send you a virtual high five. Now, let's continue. Our ever vocal critic, Carol Vorderman, exoriated Rishi Sunak. She's already not a fan of the Conservatives. Like, if you've been following her Twitter account and you notice her opinion pieces in the media, you can tell that she's not a fan of the Conservatives. This fiasco gave her the perfect opportunity to speak her mind without holding back. And boy, did she not hold back. She said in her tweet, Rishi Sunak is a hypocrite and a liar who has shown nothing but disrespect to a proud generation of veterans on D Day. But he hasn't simply disrespected the wonderful veterans who were there yesterday. At Rishi Sunak, she tagged him as well, is the Prime Minister. And in this single action, I ended it there because the rest of the tweet is even more brutal than the beginning. And I just didn't want to go there. We're talking about the Prime Minister of the UK, for goodness sake. Okay? But we kind of get her message, right? Another lady said, if it's true that Rishi Sunak returned from the 80th D Day celebrations with elderly heroes to do an interview with Paul Brandt ITV to save his political career, then his political career is over. Head in hands, cannot find the words. That is how most people felt about the entire situation because it just seemed to be such a catch 22 or reverse catch 22, should I say, because he returned from the 80th D Day celebrations to do an ITV interview with Paul Brandt to save his political career, which eventually ended his political career. As far as I can see, I can't really tell because it's not been announced yet if his political career is over. But in the minds of people, what he has done is so damaging that he cannot literally be taken seriously going forward. So, how is he going to continue to lead? Anyway, social media even saw people betting that Rishi Sunak wouldn't make it to the general elections before resigning. Look at this tweet, which says 6 to 1 he wouldn't make it to the elections. Because you've got Ladbrokes Politics tweeting saying, well, I didn't think we'd be offering this market again. Will Rishi Sunak lead the Tories at the next general election, July 4th? Yes, 1 to 14th, and so on and so forth. With people 6 to 1 saying no, right? I'm guessing at this point, if he could call off the general elections, he would absolutely do so. He already started the electoral campaign being 20 points behind. At this point, he's literally wiped the Conservative Party off the leadership board. Meanwhile, Labour leader Keir Starmer was the picture of calm purpose, posting an honourable tribute to D-Day on Twitter. First of all, let me read what he said. He said, "It's a privilege to stand with D-Day veterans in Normandy today as we mark this historic anniversary. The story of D-Day is not only one of individual courage, but of collective strength. We must never forget the service and sacrifice of our armed forces personnel." I love the tweet. Admirably, he did not seize the opportunity to pile on the Prime Minister. I'm sure he was very aware of what was going on. Not that Starmer is having an easy time himself, but in this instance, he handled himself with so much grace, befitting someone who would become Prime Minister. President Biden, often criticized for his age among other things, dropped a short but powerful tweet without directly addressing Rishi Sunak's absence. He pointedly highlighted it. Let's look at the tweet he dropped on Twitter. He said, "D Day was a powerful illustration of how alliances make us stronger in the defense of freedom. This lesson has never resonated more." And then, alongside with his text, he dropped a photograph of himself with President Macron and his First Lady, and himself with his own First Lady as well. Who was supposed to be here? The British Prime Minister. The British public's frustration likely stems from the fact that at a time when most global leaders were present and accounted for, their own leader was missing, leaving them feeling very embarrassed. The reasons for this letdown are numerous, and we'll dive into them in my next video. But I think the image on the screen speaks volumes. Never before has Britain's weakened position on the world stage been so glaringly obvious as it was with Rishi's absence from a meeting he was supposed to be co-hosting with France. Yes, you guys didn't realize he was supposed to be co-hosting that event. Imagine leaving your own party early. As I said, I'm going to be discussing the various reasons why this happened in my next video. So until the next one, this is Wheezy signing out. Ciao.